but this is now pushing off to the north and the east. So we are looking at some of this rain that's actually down to the south and east of us. That will move back more to the northwest as this low pressure gets closer to us. So our southeast winds will continue to increase. We have essentially the same aerial flood warnings we had earlier. So we have the one in Fairfax and also the city of Fairfax that goes until 11:15. And we also have this one out to the west between Winchester and Warrenton, and that goes until quarter of 11, 10:45. That includes Clark, Fauquier, Rappahannock, and also Warren County. And we kind of talked about this yesterday, that between Leesburg and Frederick and west toward I-81, we kind of felt that was going to be the bullseye of the rainfall, and so far it has been. All right, we'll zoom in a little bit. Just light to moderate rain around Manassas and Fairfax, a couple of flecks of yellow and orange, but for the most part, everything is pretty much light for the time being. So we still have the flash flood watch in effect until 4 o'clock in the morning. An additional 1 inch of rain is possible, and these are all the warnings out to the west of us and also in Fairfax County. So let's talk about how much rain could still fall. Now, believe it or not, Futurecast still thinks that as much as anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches will fall. I think that's probably not going to happen in the next 6 hours. I think we're looking at probably another 1/4 inch to 1 inch. Now, you folks west of town, out along I-81 and just east, could see over 1 inch of rain in the next, say, 6 to 8 hours. But the rest of us, I think just 3/4 of an inch probably is going to be good. So, no surprise here, yellow weather alert. Strong winds, heavy rain from now till 3 a.m. with some respites. Storms and flooding tonight, snow showers for Christmas, and we'll kind of show you where those could set up. Falling temperatures also on Christmas. I mean, downtown, you may be 40 in the morning. Temps will fall into the 30s, and wind chills will start in the 20s, and then by Christmas night, they're going to be by evening, they'll be in the teens. So it just gets colder as we go throughout the day tomorrow. All right. Futurecast, 8:30. This looks pretty good, actually. We're looking at just heavy rain to the east of us, and some more heavy rain off to the west, and we're kind of in the middle. 59 D.C., 60 in Manassas. By 10 o'clock, now we see another area of heavy rain, almost like summertime, almost like a line of storms trying to develop west from Hagerstown through Winchester. This activity lingers, but goes more up to the northeast toward Philadelphia. So temperatures 61 at 10 o'clock tonight. We'll stop it at midnight. We're 62 at midnight, 63 in Gaithersburg. And the good news for this is just updated. This is not crazy heavy at midnight. That's good. So we actually have another batch roll through between midnight and 6 a.m., but the Futurecast is not producing that solid line of storms that it was earlier. By 6 a.m., we have most of the rain across the bay. We have clouds, and again, not super cold. 42 downtown, 37 in Leesburg. Everybody's pretty much above freezing when we start Christmas morning, but temps again will fall. And then Futurecast is kind of trying to track an upper air disturbance. So we have surface features and we have upper air features, and this is an upper air feature. So right now it's going to try to produce some snow showers down toward Fredericksburg with temps in the mid-30s. And then by afternoon, it kind of sneaks this, what we call a vortmax, pretty close to D.C. Now, I mentioned this earlier in the newscast. I mean, it's like summertime. This is going to be a snow shower event, so it's going to be localized, and it's going to be short-lived. So it may look very intense for 30 minutes or 15 minutes. And the other thing we have to emphasize is that this area of snow could easily be here or back to the west or even further south. It's really difficult to pinpoint summer showers and also winter snow showers, and that's what we're looking at. But for those of you who experience these snow showers, it could look intense for a while and maybe even put down a dusting to 1/2 inch. So if you get underneath one of those snow showers and you like snow and it's Christmas, it's kind of festive, actually. By 6 p.m., snow showers pushing east across the bay. Temperatures still falling. We're back in the 20s. And by the time we get to early evening, temperatures in the 20s. Still 30 downtown, but 20s elsewhere. And those are not wind chills. Those are actual temps. By 10 o'clock Christmas night, 24 Leesburg, 24 in Gaithersburg. I think most of the far northern and western burbs will be in the teens Christmas night. But let's talk about wind speeds. So winds are still going to be, 9 o'clock, could be gusting to 38 in D.C., but a pretty sharp line of demarcation. Leesburg only 8 miles per hour. By and large, the highest winds, and this is where the wind advisory has been posted, have been east of town. 50-mile-per-hour wind gust possible in Annapolis, 51 in Easton, and 51 over in Cambridge. So, and we could see winds in excess of 60 miles per hour along the Delmarva on the coast. In fact, look at this. At midnight, 64 mile per hour wind gusts possible at Ocean City. So for us, we're looking at maybe winds now up to 38 miles per hour. Leesburg, Gaithersburg, maybe 40 in Frederick. I guess the best news here, it's not going to be a prolonged duration of high winds for us. That's good. By the time we get to 1:30, somehow this model is going winds of 50 miles per hour very briefly. Notice the winds are now northwest here, and they're still south, screaming out of the south along the Delmarva. And in between, that's going to produce some strong winds. So will they be 50? I don't know. They'll be 40 to 50, but the good news is they won't last that long. In fact, by the time we get to, say, 3:30, 5 o'clock, now look what happens. Gone. Look at this. Look, this just updated. Georgetown, wind, 73 mile per hour wind gust. 74 is hurricane strength. That's pretty impressive. But look how fast the winds relax as we get into the early morning of Christmas. Hopefully everyone's deflated their big snowman and their Santa Claus, because if you don't, it's going to blow up to Atlantic City overnight. By the time we get into tomorrow afternoon, winds won't be a real factor, just generally, 10 to 20 with higher gusts. I'm showing you this because it's kind of interesting. I mean, yes, it's less than an inch, but some of the models, 3 of the 5, are saying, hey, there could be a little accumulating snow tomorrow, and that's underneath those snow showers. But again, localized. If those snow showers were to develop, as I showed you, 85% of us wouldn't see a thing, but that 15% would see a little accumulation, which would be festive, I think. All right. This is something else we have to talk about, the wind chills tomorrow, because 7 a.m. wind chill 27 in D.C., 23 in Gaithersburg. By 11:30 in the morning, wind chill still in the 20s. Even down to Fredericksburg, wind chill still only about 29. By evening, now we have wind chills in the teens. Frederick, Leesburg, Hagerstown, Martinsburg has a wind chill of 13. So we're looking at just falling temps and lowering wind chills all day on Christmas. By the time we get to 9:30, now we have wind chills still in the teens, even downtown, D.C. Wind chill 19, 18 in La Plata, 19 in Andrews. So pretty good Arctic air rolling in here. So right now we do not have a yellow weather alert for these afternoon snow showers. We'll keep an eye on them. Again, falling temperatures. And then Saturday, well, cold, only 36, but less wind. And then Sunday, not bad. We got a little football game in town. 49, not much wind and pretty much pure sunshine. Next week looks good, too. Mid-50s on Monday, mid-40s on Tuesday. Pleasant on Wednesday. Clouds come in late, and then, oddly enough, a week apart, we're going 60 again with showers and thunderstorms. That's New Year's Eve. I guess that's better than snow. I mean, not in my book it isn't, but I guess it is. So, any questions in there, Jeff? Anybody want to know anything in particular as I cycle through here again? Okay? So here's the big picture. And this storm, is affecting everybody along the eastern seaboard, but look how far back the snow line is. This storm, usually in wintertime we'll see storms track, south and east of us, and that gives us our snow, or track over us, that could give us some ice, or track west of us, and that could give us some rain. Well, this is tracking way west of us. In fact, way west of Albany. This is going to be rain for everybody. The entire, New York State, most New York State, all of New England. Snow in Charleston, West Virginia. Yes. Charlestown, West Virginia. Yes. There could be some snow showers tomorrow morning in Charlestown, but I don't think you'll see any accumulating snow. What? They want Charleston or Charlestown? Charlestown's in our viewing area. Yes. There could be some snow showers in Charlestown. I don't see any accumulating snow there. I do see accumulating snow west of the divide. In fact, there are winter storm warnings in effect for Garrett County and for the Canaan Valley for anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of snow. Charlestown, maybe just a few flakes. That's all I see. Sorry. All right, we'll zoom in a little bit. Just tremendous rains across the bay. Wow. The eastern shore is getting just pummeled right now. So we are looking at some activity pushing through, but it's not crazy heavy. We'll watch this area to the south of us kind of work its way north. It's turning into some moderate rainfall as you get into the yellow colors, and we'll watch that as it works northward tonight. And we'll show you these flood warnings. So these are the aerial flood warnings for the city of Fairfax and also Fairfax County, most of Fairfax County. That goes till 11:15. And this one was issued quite a while ago. Clark, Fauquier, Rappahannock, and Warren, and that goes till 10:45. We'll zoom in, and there's not much going on out here, which is great news for you folks, although I think you're going to get one more batch of heavy rain here. Fairfax, under this warning, we're just looking at some light rain right now. But in any event, who wants to know if there's a tornado threat? Jack. You know, Jack, late last night and this morning I was talking, I kind of woke up, was worried about some tornadoes, but they're tornadoes that form on a front that goes through. They're little tiny spinners, and really, without Doppler radar 3, 4, 5 years ago, we didn't detect them. They would come out as simply severe thunderstorm warnings. They have a little bit of rotation in them. So yes, I was talking to Howie and Chester today, and we thought we could see a couple of them. Right now we haven't. More than likely that would be when the front itself went through around midnight. So far it's been quiet, just that one severe thunderstorm warning. But with the gusts of wind, that's something else. That's going to be widespread, and that could cause some widespread damage in terms of trees and some power lines. Flood watch, flash flood watch continues till 4, and we'll pop in the warnings right now. There's the warning out to the west, and there's the warning in Fairfax County as well. So those that means when it's bright green and we're under a warning, that means it's actually happening. A watch means it could happen. A warning means it will happen. Okay. Rainfall, I think this is a bit overdone. I think the NAM's, I don't know what the NAM's smoking, but it's got an inch and a half, over an inch and a half in here in the next 48 hours, which essentially means in the next 8 hours to 10 hours. Everyone else kind of in the half inch to 3/4 inch, and I think that's probably a little better estimate as we go through the next 8 to 10 hours in the immediate metro area. Could see more west of town, yes. So again, yellow weather alert, strong winds, heavy rain between now and 3. We're in kind of a respite at this moment. Thunderstorms and flooding tonight. Snow showers tomorrow, Christmas, probably south of town. If you're actually I-66 and south, that may be the best chance. Falling temps all day, and wind chills in the 20s when you wake up tomorrow. Open the presents. Taking little Johnny out to ride the bike late afternoon. Wind chills will be in the teens. So please bundle up. All right, Futurecast, 9 o'clock tonight. And this is just updated, folks. So heaviest rain across the bay. We have some rain, temp 60, and then some heavier rain right along I-81. And we'll put this into motion. By 10 o'clock, we see the heavy rain now, Front Royal, Winchester, and notice the red there. I mean, that could be some heavy, heavy downpours, if not a thunderstorm. We're still 61. Winds are still southeastward, okay? Here they're becoming to be westward, so that's where the front is as we get into the 10 o'clock hour. That rolls through pretty quickly. In fact, by midnight, it's gone. It could roll right through the metro around 11 o'clock, but it seems to weaken a little bit and then whip on through here. Temp still 62 as we go into Christmas Day at midnight. And we do see a little bit of a mix now out to the west. Again, good snows west of the divide, Garrett County. Drop a line down toward the Canaan Valley. So this is good news for places like Wisp and Timberline, and eventually it'll be better news tomorrow for places closer to us, like Seven Springs and Whitetail. All right, by the time we get to 6 a.m., everything's pretty much gone. Temps are still well above freezing, so there's not a risk of freezing around the metro area. You have to go well to the west of us. So you see Cumberland's 29. You need to go between Cumberland, Hagerstown, and west to have any kind of flash freezing problem. Don't think that's going to be a huge problem. By 10 o'clock in the morning on Christmas, some snow showers down to the south, and then they kind of progress up north, right up 95 to D.C., and that's in the afternoon. That's at 3 o'clock. Could happen. Again, they're going to be localized, short-lived, but intense for 15, 20, 30 minutes. That then moves off to the east by 6 p.m., and then temps just start to fall. They continue to fall. They're back in the 20s across the board by 5, 6 o'clock in the burbs, and by 8 o'clock they're hovering around 29, 30 downtown, 20s in the burbs across the board, and then by 10, 20, 24 in Leesburg, 25 in Bowie, and I'll tell you what, tomorrow night lows will be in the teens in the burbs and mid-20s in D.C. All right, the winds, and again, this is a forecast. This is one model I'm looking at. The winds, 50 in Annapolis, 51 Easton. That's at 9 o'clock tonight, so another 45 minutes from now. So at midnight, the winds are now 64 at Ocean City, 31 in D.C., and then by the time we get to, say, 1:30, now the winds are 50, 51 La Plata, 50 in D.C., 51 in Gaithersburg, and 50 in Frederick, and 40 in Fredericksburg. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Just look at those numbers for a minute. I want to bring up the the actual wind speed right now, and we can see if the models are kind of close to, what they're thinking. If they're right, that we should see winds pretty high right now in the Delmarva, and maybe down toward La Plata, and maybe just to the southern Maryland. So let's just see what. We're also going to look at some other models as to if they think the winds are going to be as strong. So let's take a look at that. So this is another model. Winds 10-15 tonight. Well, it does have the winds about 45. It has that little line kind of right near 95, but it doesn't have that 50-mile-per-hour wind at 130. It just doesn't. They go away. So this model says, yeah, they're going to come, but probably before 11 o'clock, it looks like, because they just kind of go away pretty quickly here. 50. So 11:30, I would say, along 995 corridor, 10 to midnight is probably going to be the critical time of wind speeds. And again, the best news, they're not going to be around long. I mean, they're going to be intense, but they're not going to be like a 6-hour time period where we have winds gusting to 40 to 50 miles per hour constantly. That's not going to happen, which is good news, because I don't think we could sustain that given all the rain we've had. We're now in seventh place all time for wettest years, and we were going to be close to going into sixth place. Probably won't quite make it. All right, so let's talk about a couple things here. Here are the wind gusts. Now this is this is not a forecast. This is what's happening. So you can see in the metro, we're okay right now. Winds are gusting to 10. Wind speed is at 10, gusting to 18 in Frederick, and gusting to 46 in Salisbury. So that tells me the other model may be overdoing the winds, which would be fine with me. Wettest years, okay? Before this rain, I've not added up this rain yet, we're 55.86, so we're in seventh place. We'd have to get, a little over 1 3/4 inches to get to sixth place. It's possible. It's possible. Remember, though, it hasn't been too long ago. 2018, we had the wettest year on record, 66 inches, and 2003, 60.83 inches. Got a lot of wet years in the 2000s. So, any other questions? Wendy, I need to know where you are. If you are in Cumberland, they could be icy. If you are anywhere within 30 miles of the metro of D.C., they will not be icy at all. You will be fine, and I'll tell you, I'll tell you what. Let me just bring this in. I'll tell you why, because it's just not going to get that cold that fast here, and that is a very, very good thing here. So I'm going to show you this, okay. We'll put this back in the show. So very quickly, Wendy, so here's the deal. As long as you're not in Cumberland, look at the temps. So we're going to go to 6 o'clock in the morning. Temps are still 42 in D.C., 34 in Hagerstown. So even in Hagerstown, there's not going to be any flash freezing. You have to go between Hagerstown, Cumberland, really cross over Savage Mountain to get any kind of really flash freezing. But look at Oakland, 18 degrees in Oakland. So over there, yes, but if you're, again, close to the metro, there's nothing to worry about. So severe weather, good news. This map is blank. That's the way we want to keep it. There are no watches in effect, and we'll advance it. There are no warnings in effect. So that's a good news. All right. So what about the storm itself? Look at this clump of heavy rain, essentially just enveloping the whole Delmarva. I mean, it is just. I mean, I've looked at some of this when it went through earlier. Rainfall rates were 2 to 4 inches per hour. That's a lot of moisture for December. That's pretty intense. The rain goes up the Hudson River Valley, which will also see all rain tonight. Boston's escaping the heavy rain right now, but they will get rain in the next, say, 12 to 15 hours. And then here's the snow, Cleveland, back down into Tennessee. Yeah, I showed a picture earlier. There'll be a white Christmas in Tennessee. In Knoxville, they had about an inch. I came across an inch to 6 inches in East Tennessee. Kind of cool. That's the Tennessee Valley. All right, so let's zoom in a little bit. A little bit of a respite here and there, which is good. A little bit of light to moderate rains pushing through the district right now. but everything to the west of Leesburg is quiet, although you're going to see another band of rain roll through here. You really are. So there are the warnings, aerial flood warnings, 11:15 for Fairfax, City of Fairfax, and then this one has now been extended a little bit. Oh, no, there's a new one here. Aha. Okay, this is a new one. This one now goes until 2:15 for Manassas, Prince William. This one out to the west goes till 10:45, including Rappahannock and Clark counties and Warren counties to the west. So that is a new one down here, just south of Manassas. So that means flooding is occurring, and that means, don't cross a flooded street by car or by foot. This includes the city of Manassas and a good chunk of Prince William County until 2:15 in the morning. All right. There's the watch, which, was a good idea. It covered the entire metro area. And now we'll put in the warnings in bright green, so you can see some of the warnings popping up even in Frederick County now with some of the rainfall. I think an additional 1 inch is possible across the board, maybe 1 to 2 out toward the Shenandoah Valley. Jeffrey, any other questions? Here's what the models think, though. For Calvert County, I think Calvert could get another inch and a half tonight with that last little batch rolling through. The models for D.C. proper go anywhere from a half an inch to to over 1.5 inches. That's probably a little bit overdone. 3 models, a little better agreement, more lockstep, like 3/4 of an inch to an inch in the metro. But down to the south, yeah, I think they'll get a little bit more down there, and a little bit more to the west, too. So we've got to keep our guard up. Got the yellow weather alert. Strong winds, heavy rain from now until 3 a.m. Storms and flooding tonight, snow showers at Christmas, falling temps all day tomorrow. Wind chills start out in the 20s but end up in the teens. So think layers and scarves and, hats and gloves. So this is the Futurecast. We'll run through this one more time, then we'll wrap it up. So 9 o'clock, so, another half an hour or so. We've got temps in the 60s, 60 in D.C., 60 in Frederick, heavy rain east, heavy rain west. And then we'll put this into motion. By 10 o'clock, there's the line of showers and storms just to our west. And some of that could trigger severe thunderstorm warning algorithms. We'll see. 61 in D.C., 60 in Andrews, 63 in Fredericksburg. And watch this. This really rolls through quickly. This moves through very fast, and it did produce a little fleck of red there. So around 11 o'clock, we might be rocking and rolling here at news time. By midnight, it seems to have taken everything to the east of us. A little bit of a mix now showing up toward Cumberland and just west of I-81, and then we advance this again by 6 a.m. It's essentially quiet, and temps above freezing. This is why we're not worried about flash freezing. Heck, it's 42 downtown, and it's only 33 in Martinsburg. By 10 o'clock, quiet, maybe a snow flurry or snow shower down to the south of Fredericksburg. Snow continues west of the Divide. And then this little upper air disturbance is trying to produce a very small concentrated area of snow showers tomorrow. That is around 3 o'clock. That'd be great for you folks. If you get this, it could, put a little dusting, kind of like frosting on Christmas Day. That'd be kind of nice. And it could look intense for a while, and it will not cover in a very big area. And this could be here, and it could be there. Don't get too fixated on where it is. And then by the time we get to 6 o'clock, it moves through. But it put down, notice the deeper shades of blue here, put down a pretty good blue right in Prince George's County. So right now, I'm saying wherever the snow showers end up will be an inch or less. We shall see. Temperatures keep falling, so the roads will deteriorate. If you're under one of those snow showers and trying to drive, between family and bubbles, the roads will be slippery as that snow shower rolls through. I remember back in, I think it was 06 or 07, a snow shower rolled through parts of Montgomery County. That's as hard as I've seen it snow in the last 20 years, in that little tiny snow shower. That's harder than all the blizzards. They can be pretty intense. Much like a summer snow shower, they can be pretty intense. All right, any other questions? We'll probably wrap this up. I will grab a bite to eat. You can wrap your presents. One more question, yes? Oh, no more. Okay, I will we'll wrap it up. You can wrap your presents. And we'll see you tonight at 11, because at 11 o'clock, with that second line coming through, we could be seeing some severe weather. And we'll also have an update on the chance of snow. Maybe that area will widen a little bit. We'll see. For now, I'm meteorologist Tom Riccone.